Master networking. 5 essential tips for building connections. Success isn't about knowing everything. You don't always need to learn new skills to solve problems, and in the long run, you certainly can't do everything yourself. Instead, it's very important that you learn how to leverage the right people to achieve your goals. Let's take an example. If you start a business, there are many things you need to take care of. Initially, you will essentially be everything, from the CEO to the janitor and everything in between. This makes sense because, especially if you're starting from scratch, you don't have the resources to delegate everything. Over time, you will hire people and step by step, you will focus on working on the business, not in the business. We discussed this in a previous video, but the difference is quite simple. Working on the business means developing a strategy and analyzing the overall picture of the company. Working in the business, on the other hand, simply means developing the daily tasks necessary to run the business. Obviously, both are important, but your goal as a CEO and leader is to advance the company, not to do small jobs every day. So, the work done in the business is still necessary 100%, so you can't just not do it. You need to find people who will do it, whom you trust and who you know will deliver results. You need to hire them based on their experience, goals, performance, and a lot of other important factors. And this is where the importance of networking comes into play. If you don't have contacts and if you don't know anyone, it will take a long time just to find candidates. If you already know people in the industry and have the contacts, all you have to do is make a couple of phone calls and you get a bunch of job interviews. But having the right contacts could also help you find clients, especially if you have a service-based business or even if you are a freelancer. Meeting new people is essential if you want to stay in business. It's not a one-time product, those are relationships that you need to develop and nurture in order to actually get their money. So, in summary, you need to know how to network. Today, I'll give you some strategies and tips on how to network correctly to find the right people at the right time. 1. Understand that no one owes you anything. This is very important, especially for younger generations. You need to understand that you are not entitled to anything. This has nothing to do with you as a person. I'm not saying you're not competent or that you don't know what you're doing. I'm just saying that's how the world works right now. No one will give you anything for free, especially if you want to include successful people in your network. You need to have something to offer. I mean, imagine being something like a millionaire. People approach you every day from every direction. Some pretend to be your friends just to get something in return, even just the clout. If you really want their attention, you need to differentiate yourself. How do you do that? By offering value. And that's why networking isn't easy or quick. It takes time to do this. For example, let's say you're a copywriter. You write ads for businesses, and your goal is to get a new big client. You go to an event and meet a lot of interesting people, including a very successful guy who has more drop shipping businesses. Obviously, he publishes ads on Facebook to find clients, and each of those ads is written by one of his partners. The text isn't the best, you know you can improve it. Now you have 2 options. Number 1, you approach this person at the event hoping that you get his consent for a collaboration. You can even give him a small discount and hope to close the deal. Or number 2, you can introduce yourself to him, tell him what you do, and start a small conversation. You don't bother him anymore. After a couple of days, you deliver 3 new versions of the ad he is currently publishing that you think are getting the worst results. And remember, you don't ask for money, you just send them to him. Tell him it's a favor and that you're sure they will work. Gently ask him to try them and see the results, and if he wants you to write more, you can give him a special discount. Suppose you know what you're doing and your ads generate results, maybe conversion rates that the guy has never seen in his entire career. Guess what? You just got yourself a new client. Look how it works. You just provided value upfront without asking for anything in return. You differentiate yourself from everyone else who contacted him that night at the event because you weren't there just to get him to sign on the dotted line. You were actually trying to help and were willing to go the extra mile just for his consideration. Always remember that no one owes you anything. 2. Use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a free tool with so much potential from many points of view. And first of all, with LinkedIn, you can easily get in touch with high-ranking people, entrepreneurs, and CEOs. With them, you can develop any type of relationship. You can find new clients and even make friends or simply people you talk to and need advice from. Again, this has to be an exchange, but developing genuine relationships in this space is so easy, especially if you live in a big city and have the opportunity to meet them. If you really want to excel on LinkedIn, don't just send random connection requests. Actually participate in the platform, maybe even write a blog post every now and then, interact with other people's content, and seek engagement. This shows that you are actually active on the platform, and people will be more interested in talking to you. Plus, it has the potential to generate free organic traffic to your profile, which you can then convert into clients. The possibilities with LinkedIn are really great, especially in the B2B space or if you sell services. In fact, people like Gary Vaynerchuk always talk about this platform as something that will grow exponentially in the future. Gary V has a history of successful predictions, so I would listen carefully if I were in your position. 3. If you're looking for a job, don't spam your CV like a maniac. Sure, it's nice to have a CV, and employers will ask you for one just to take a look at your experience. But what they really want is for you to sell yourself, especially when someone asks you, "Tell me about yourself," or "Why do you think we should hire you?" They are literally saying, "Hey, I'm open, sell yourself to me." So it's not about spamming everyone who is hiring, especially if you're at the beginning of your career. Your CV probably isn't as impressive as someone who has years of experience in the field. So you should rely heavily on your interpersonal skills. 4. Don't be creepy, weird, or desperate. Okay, I know this will sound a bit strange, but hear me out. Imagine seeing a beautiful girl on your Instagram. You go to her profile and notice she's from your city. You like her a lot, she seems nice, so you want to ask her out. You directly insert a private message and say, "Hey, beautiful, why don't we go out to dinner tomorrow night?" Guess what she will respond with? Exactly, no response. Maybe she'll even block you because you're creepy. She doesn't trust that behavior, and you can't come out of nowhere asking for something. It's the same in the business world. You need to build a relationship, you need some type of relationship, especially if you want to meet them. You can't just say to them, "Hey, can we meet and you tell me how to make money?" Additionally, don't be desperate. This is just a strategy that allows you to become more desirable. If you don't have other clients, nor friends, and you're isolated from society, people will think there's something wrong with you. It's not necessarily so, but this is the market reaction. If no one buys from you, probably there's something wrong with you. So you should act as if you have abundance. You don't have to lie, just maintain confident body language and tone. Don't be insecure and don't try to close people at all costs. Don't stalk them. Do research on things that are necessary for you to really understand what kind of person they are and what they do. And that's all. 5. Follow up. Let's say you've just finished a product with a client. Maybe it was a one-time thing, but this doesn't mean they can't ask for your help again. Most clients, especially in the service sector, will come back sooner or later if they are satisfied with your work. First of all, it's important to ask for feedback. You can divide it into two categories, public feedback and private feedback. The first is what you will ask for at the end. If you are sure the client is completely satisfied with your service, you will publish that feedback on your socials or your website, or you could use LinkedIn referrals. Private feedback is where you ask your client to be hard on you. They must be brutally honest and actually look for flaws and shortcomings in your service. You will use this feedback to improve yourself in the future. You also need to follow up after some time to remind them that you exist and that you are still available to work for them. Don't really use these words, just ask them how they are doing. If it's something like Christmas, wish them a Merry Christmas. It would be even better if you could remember birthdays and important events in their lives, like weddings, and so on. You will have a genuine excuse to contact them and start a small conversation. We would like to know about your experience regarding the topic covered today. Share it with us in the comments, and, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask them. We will gladly respond. Your like would be a source of satisfaction for us, and of course, do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming publications.